Trump's big, beautiful bill survives a brutal night on the Hill, but can Republicans push it all the way across the finish line? Plus, Diddy walks on the big charges, so why is he still locked up this morning? And Princess Kate back in the spotlight and sharing what remission really looks like. The stories that matter, clear and credible, from across the country to around the world. These are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. A lot happened overnight while you slept. We begin with breaking news this morning. The U.S. House is on the verge of delivering a major win for President Trump, but the final vote still hangs in the balance. After an all-night push, House Republicans managed to flip key holdouts and advance Trump's massive $3.3 trillion tax and spending bill, voting just before 3:30 a.m., 219 to 213. Trump personally pressured lawmakers on Truth Social, calling the delay ridiculous and warning MAGA is not happy. Only one Republican, Pennsylvania's Brian Fitzpatrick, broke ranks and voted with Democrats against the procedural move. Now, with the bill on the floor for debate, the real fight happens. Democrats could use procedural tactics to stall the final vote, and timing remains fluid. Speaker Mike Johnson says he expects a vote later this morning. Bottom line, the bill is moving, but it's not a done deal yet. The man at the center of a high-profile deportation case during the Trump administration now says he was tortured after being sent back to El Salvador. Kilmar Abrego Garcia claims he was beaten, starved, and subjected to sleep deprivation inside El Salvador's notorious Secot prison, losing 30 pounds in just 2 weeks. Abrego Garcia was deported in March after being mistakenly identified as a gang member. The Trump administration initially called it a paperwork error, then later claimed he was tied to MS-13. The U.S. Supreme Court ordered him returned. He's now back in U.S. custody and facing human smuggling charges, while his wife sues the government over what she calls a catastrophic mistake. He's currently being held in Tennessee, awaiting trial. Sean Diddy Combs may have won a major legal battle, but he's not going home just yet. The music mogul remains behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York this morning after a federal judge denied his request for release, even after a Manhattan jury cleared him of the most serious charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Diddy held his hands in prayer and mouthed thank you to the jurors as the verdict was read, visibly emotional after being acquitted of the charges that could have put him away for life. But the judge was not moved, citing his history of domestic violence while denying him bond. The jury did find Combs guilty of 2 lesser counts, transporting individuals for prostitution. Each carries a possible sentence of up to 10 years. Prosecutors are pushing for at least 4. His sentencing is set for October, though his legal team wants it moved up. After more than 2.5 years of sealed court filings, gag orders, and grief, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students has finally admitted it. Brian Coberger pleaded guilty Wednesday to the stabbings, acknowledging for the first time that he planned and carried out the murders of Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. In court, Coberger sat emotionless as the judge walked through each count.
You've heard the plea agreement that I talked about today. Do you agree with that plea agreement?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
His plea opened the door to new evidence. For the first time, prosecutors laid out details they had kept close. Surveillance of Coberger's car speeding away from the scene, how he may have encountered one of the victims by chance, and a used Q-tip recovered from his parents' trash that helped seal the DNA match. Prosecutors admitted they couldn't prove Coberger intended to kill all 4 victims, only that he went in to kill and did not stop, a possible reason for the plea deal. It spares the families the trauma of a trial, but not all of them support it. Some say they still don't have the answers they waited years to hear, including why. Sentencing is set for July 23rd. Coberger will not get the death penalty. As she slowly returns to public life, Princess Kate is opening up about her battle with cancer, offering a rare and deeply personal glimpse into what remission really feels like. During a visit Wednesday to a cancer support center in the UK, the Princess of Wales described her experience as a roller coaster and spoke candidly about the emotional toll that often comes after treatment ends.
You know, you put on a sort of brave face, stoicism through treatment. The treatment's done.
Yeah.
So I can crack on and get back to normal again, but actually that the phase afterwards is really, is a really difficult journey. You're not necessarily in the clinical team any longer, but you're not able to function normally at home as you perhaps once used to. And actually someone to help talk you through that, show you and guide you through that sort of phase that comes after treatment, I think is really valuable.
Princess Kate revealed her diagnosis in March, choosing not to disclose the type of cancer, but stepping away from royal duties to focus on her health. She began chemotherapy in September and by January announced she was in remission. Since then, she's been easing back into public engagements, including Wednesday's stop, where she toured a well-being garden and planted a rose on the grounds of the facility. Finally this morning, you might remember it as where a kid can be a kid, but now Chuck E. Cheese wants to be the place where grown-ups can get in on the game. The company is rolling out a new concept called Chuck's Arcade, aiming to bring teens and adults back through the doors for a nostalgic night of games, food, and prizes. We're talking retro favorites like Ms. Pac-Man and Mortal Kombat, alongside newer hits like Halo and Jurassic World. The animatronic band may be mostly retired, but don't worry, Chuck himself still makes an appearance. Each arcade will be overseen by one of the characters, just to keep the vibes vintage. So far, there are 10 Chuck's Arcade locations open in malls across the country, with more on the way. All right, full disclosure, my wife and I have never been to a Chuck E. Cheese. We hear it's a lot of kids, bounce houses, yelling and screaming, and of course, pizza. So, sounds like a lot of fun. Number 2, I woke up with a scratchy throat earlier this week. It's turned into a bit of laryngitis, so thank you so much for bearing with me. I'm trying to tough it out, so thanks for understanding and going along for the ride and being here for Unbiased Updates. And those are your Unbiased Updates for this Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.